Hey guys, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today I'm going back to school, going back to college. I'm going to go visit my old Alma Mater. Alma Mater is a 2 to 4 player game from Eggertspiel. Plays in 90 to 120 minutes. Probably at 4 players, you're going to be looking at about 2 hours. 2 hours plus. It can get a little lengthy. But what you're doing in this game is you're a master of a university, and you're trying to go around and recruit professors, get students to come to your school, try to get some new chancellors. But really what that boils down to is you're doing some worker placement. You're trying to go get some stuff to get some points. You're gonna be moving up on a track because you gotta keep your knowledge up, you gotta keep doing research, you gotta keep writing papers, you gotta keep getting works published, all that good stuff. I love tracks. Spoilers, not gonna go into there yet, but yes. So worker placement game, trying to just get an engine going so you can make the most of the few actions in the few rounds that you can. So that's enough talking about it. Let's go down to the table, check it out. All right, so here's a game of Alma Mater, all set up for 2 players. This is a beast of a game, so I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to be here all night. So I'm just going to kind of tell you how you set up, kind of what you're going to do in a round, and the difference in 2 player as opposed to 3 and 4 player. All right, so to set up, you're going to give each player a player board. They're each going to get a certain amount of bookshelves. In this case, I think it's 6 with an extra one hanging out here. You can randomly assign as you see fit, so I've already done that. Each player is going to get 4 masters. The other 2 can go over here on the side that you can unlock when you get 15 points. You get your 6th student, or you get your first bust here. You're going to get 4 setup cards. It's going to be a draft. You're going to end with 4, and you're going to keep 3. In this case, I've kept all these. So this is going to be the starting stuff that you get. So I'm going to get to move up on a track, some money, some books, so on and so forth. Books that have a star mean I can use them as income. Books that I can spend, or I can put them on my bookshelf. Books without a star mean they have to go into my storage to be able to use them. And yellow is dictionaries. So I did that. Then what we're going to do is, based on the numbers here, whoever has the lowest is going to get to go first. So this is 1419. They have 1519. And in that case, you're going to look at the bottom numbers down here. So I have S19. They have S01. So they will go first. Then these cards can just go away as they're no longer needed. All right, so we did all the setup. Got some books out here in the supply, because we're going to be needing those. All right, so also each player is going to get a chancellor. Looks like this, basically a starting player power. So I'm going to get to give lectures, which I'll hopefully get to without having to pay books. And this player is going to get to use, when they go here with 1 master, they're going to get to make it like they put 2. All right, so now here's what the board looks like. You're going to set up the students based on the number of players. It's in the rule book. Same with the professors. There's 4 of each type. You're going to select 2 and then take the appropriate number of cards for each professor that you pick based on number of players. You're going to pick some milestones. I've randomly done that for A, B, and C. And there's going to be 3 more chancellors. There's also a chancellor draft. I didn't show you that, but it's in here. And whichever the 3rd chancellor or the player, there's the number of players plus 1 of chancellors. Whichever one isn't selected goes on A. Then you're going to flip for B and C. You do that. You're going to set up the research track with A, B, C, D, and E cards. There's like 6 of each of them. You're going to pick one, go on and so forth. And you're going to put a scoring token on 0, which I don't think you can see that well. Turn order, which I've done, red's first. And everybody starts on 0 on the research track, except in our setup, we moved up. All right, so that's a lot. Now, the difference in a 2-player game, couple things. You're going to use this side of the board. This is the 2 or 3 player side. And you're going to use the Ignatius cards. So now, normally there's another board, which is going to have a bookshelf and a cost and points that I can buy. But because of space constraints, I'm not going to do that. So when I buy from Ignatius, know that whatever I do from him, you would do the same here. So if I bought this book, I would pay $4, I would get 3 points, so on and so forth. It's the same thing, but you need to be able to have 4 books, 4 colors of books in the game. So without that dummy 3rd player, you're only ever going to be able to have 3. So that's kind of why he's in here. And he's going to be able to put 2 or 3 workers somewhere on the board just to tighten it up a little bit. So that's kind of what's going on there. Effectively, he's going to race up the research track, block some spaces, and give us some books to buy. That's it. All right, so that's enough talking. Let's just get down to the game. So what you're going to do in your turn is a worker placement game. We're going to take a worker and we're going to put it out into one of these spaces. This space here is going to let you buy one book from the supply of anybody's color that you want, one book from the supply plus a dictionary, or one book from the supply plus 2 dictionaries. Any color you want, they go straight into your storage. This space, same. So this space counts for both of these. You can move up 1 on this track for free. That's what green is. Or black, I could pay to move up 3 spaces. It gets expensive to move up, so you kind of want to use green, but occasionally you're going to have to use black because you just got to get up this track. Over here, $10 for 7 points. Down here is going to determine turn order. Whoever has the most people in this space is going to get to go first, and based on the number you put down when you go there, is how many coins you're going to get. Over here, this is how you're going to buy books from other players or buy dictionaries. Over here, students, you're going to buy a column of, you're going to go here and you can take from any of the rows. And based on the row that you go to, there's going to be a certain type of book cost represented with that to be able to recruit the student. And then over here, if we go here, I can recruit any of these professors. There's going to be a cash amount that you have to pay for the first person that goes there. Then you got to spend 2 of one color book, 1 of one color book, 1 of one color book to take the professor. And whichever book you put in that section, it's going to go right there. And then whenever you want to activate that professor, you got to spend that color book. All right, so the worker placement kind of works like this. You go here, fine. If another player wants to go there, they have to put 1 more worker than this previous there. You can only go to the gray spaces on the board 1 time. So if I go here, black can never go there again. Now, there's a couple exceptions. Black, the red space, you can go multiple times. So I could go here with 1, get $2. Later on, I could go here with 2 guys, get $5. So you're only going to get the money for the guys that you put down in there. And yellow, you can always go here with 1 person, never blocked off. Go there as multiple times as you want. This is very important to be able to buy books or dictionaries from other players. So this one's always 1 worker, doesn't matter if you've gone there before, and this one is based on what you want. Everything else, you have to put down 1 more than's already there. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So red's first. We're going to play through a round just so you can see it, and then I'll talk about in-game scoring. So red would like they have 2 yellow books and 2 dictionaries, which you can't see because they're off the board. So I want to get some books. Oh, first thing we got to do is we got to flip this card. Sorry, I forgot to do that. So Ignatius is going to move up 2 on the track. He's going to have 4 books for sale. So I'll just put them, over here. It normally would go on his board, but I'm just going to put them right here so we know they're for sale. And they're going to be the same cost as on here, and they would give some points as well. I'm not going to move the points up, but just know when you buy that, his bookshelf would flip, all that. And he's going to block A, or Alpha. I think that's Alpha. I'm really terrible at that. And that one. All right. Then that's it. That's all he does. Then now it can be red's turn. So red is going to go. Red wants to start moving up on tracks. So let's see. I'm going to move up. So I'm just going to move up 1 because a green lets me move up 1 for free. That was their turn. Black, they're going to go. They want to buy some books. So they're going to come here and they're going to buy a $3, 2 $3 books because it would be 4 3 3 3 on Ignatius' track. So they're going to buy 2 books for 6. Go ahead and put them here. So they got 2 green books. Spend $6. And that's that. That was their turn. You can buy as many of one other player's books as you want when you go to that space. Then it's red's turn. They kind of want to do the same thing. They're going to come buy some of my books because I want to show you how that works. So they're going to come here. They're going to buy some black books. So they're going to spend $7 because they want to buy 2 books. So that's all their cash. They're going to buy these 2 books. So they get 2 black. And whenever you take a book from a bookshelf, you get to pick one of the bookshelves to flip to get those points. So they would actually give me the $7, which I forgot to say. So they pay me for my books. And they took from here, which is worth 1 point, or here, which is worth 3. So they're going to take the 3. So I would take this and flip it. It's not going to be worth points now until it shifts off the shelf and comes back. So they'll get 3 points. I don't know if you can see this, but I gave them 3 points. And that was red's turn. Back to black. They actually want to come up here and do this as well because they don't want to fall behind on the track because that's bad. Okay. Then it's red's turn again. They have lots of books, but I need some cash. How can I get cash? I'm going to go here. And they're going to hope that I come give. So they're going to go there, get $2. And they're going to hope that I go there and buy their book, which they're right, I'm going to. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to buy, we'll buy the first book, one of their books for $4. And I'll take this one. And this flips over. I will get 3 points. So it's all tied up. All right, and then red has a worker. And I want to show you a professor, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. It's probably not the most wise thing, but I want to do it. So I'm going to go here. I can do any of these professors right here. So I'm going to take, I can only afford this one. So I'll spend $5 because the first person that goes there has to spend $5. I'm going to spend my own books because they're easier to come by. So a red, so 2 reds, 1 black, and 1 yellow. Now, next person that goes here to recruit this professor only has to pay the those book costs. They no longer have to pay the money. Then I'll get this professor. He'll come over here. And he'll get a red book on him to let me know that I have to activate him with red. And when he comes in, he automatically gets activated. So I'll tap him. He's going to give his lecture immediately. And what he's going to do is he's going to fill up my bookshelf with books. And I'll explain why that's important when we get to the end of the round. All right, so the bookshelf is filled up. So there we go. Tons of books for sale for red. All right, and that was their turn. And that's the end of the round. You're going to go until someone passes. You can either, on your turn, you can either place a worker or you can give a lecture with a professor. So no one has a professor to lecture with. So that is what it is. Oh, and they would have also gotten $3 extra because of their special power, which I missed when they went to the red space. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at this round tracker here, and we're going to do these steps in order. So we're going to determine turn order. Turn order is based on here, whoever has the most, and if there's a tie, it's whoever's farthest left. So in this case, red stays first player. Then we're going to come here, and you're going to look at your book. You have a book limit that you're able to hold. So right now, our book limit is 6, which stinks for me because I have 7 books. So I have to get rid of 1 book. I'm going to get rid of one of my own books because they're easier to come by. So I'm going to discard a black book. They only have 2, so they're good. Then you come over here, and we're going to determine the most valuable book. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to look at who is on the top of this stack, and that's going to determine who's the most valuable. So in this case, black is the most prestigious, then red, then green. It might be the other way around. It's either whoever's on the bottom is most prestigious and then on top, but either way, you're going to do that. So we did that. We're going to untap our professors, or unexhaust, I guess, unlecture them, which is kind of silly. Take all of our workers back. So black will take theirs. Red takes all of theirs. I'll just sit them here. And then Ignatius will take his dudes back. Masters. He'll keep his books there so we know what we have, what we're working with. Then we're going to move the round track. Then we're going to get income. All right, so let's talk about income. On your turn, you're going to get income based on how many books you have in your shelf. So you can see this player has nothing. This player has 6 because they had this this professor, so they're going to get this. Then what you're going to do is you're going to get money based on how prestigious your books are. So right now you can see green gets $2, red gets an extra $1, and black gets nothing. So black really did not fare well on the income that round. And that's that. If there were any students that would give you income, any professors, anything else that would give you income, you would do that. And that's it. Then we're going to take this back and we're going to start a new round. You're going to play like that until the end of the 6th round. Once you get to the end game, the 6th round, and we switch rounds, we're going to immediately do scoring. I'm going to show you the bottom of this board here. Let's slide it up here. So down here is scoring. So you're going to get to sell all your books in your bookshelf for $1, or in storage for $1. Every $4, you're going to get a point. Every dictionary is worth a point. Based on the value up here in a 2-player game, whoever's first and second in this gets either 12 or 5 points. Then you're going to look at where you are on this track So whenever you hit a check mark, it's going to be a milestone, which is going to let you get some of these and other things. And you're going to multiply how many check marks you have by professor. So if I had 3 professors and I was at 3 check marks, that would be 9 points. Then you're going to get points on your professor. So this one's worth 4, so I get 4 additional points. You're going to get points for your students that have the pi sign. They're going to be in-game scoring based on what they say. Then you're going to multiply your A students by your B students. So if I had 4 A students times 4 B students, I would get 16 points. Then for every bust you got, meaning every one of these milestones that you've hit, you're going to get points. So 1 bust is 3, 2 is 7, 3 is 12. Whoever has the most points is the winner. There's some other stuff I didn't show you, like at the end of the round, you're going to slide in this additional bookshelf. So it would come like this. It's going to basically adjust the value. Any books that would be on there would come out, and then this one would come over here. I didn't show you that. I didn't recruit a student. If you recruit a student, you're going to do this. It always starts, it does like a snake thing like that. If there's a lightning bolt, you're going to get what the lightning bolt is, and then it's going to give you an ongoing benefit, stuff like that. And that's the gist. I know that's a lot. I know I probably didn't explain everything. Sorry, it's a beast. So that's Alma Mater. Let's go to the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that was Alma Mater. First, I gotta say, first thing I want to talk about, because it needs to be discussed, is production. Whoa. I mean, these tokens right here, I don't know how well they came across in the video, and they're probably not going to come across well here. These are little tiny books. Okay, it looks pretty generic there, but look at this. It has pages. It has a binding. This is amazing. They're like plastic books in all the player colors and yellow because you need the dictionaries. So good. These player boards are dual layer. You're going to be putting your students here. You're going to have your bookshelf here that you can slide out. In-game scoring. Everything you need to know is here. It's amazing. The board is double-sided. So if you're playing with 2 or 3 players or 4 players, you're going to use the appropriate side of the board. Insert. Eggertspiel hasn't really knocked it out of the park with inserts. It's the same kind of issue I have with Coimbra. If you turn that game, if you lay it this way, you're fine. You lay it like this, everything's coming out. Not a fan of that. But again, you can scrap the insert and just put everything in baggies. Doesn't affect the gameplay one bit, but I wanted to discuss it. The rule book is really nice. It's got great examples. All the cards are laid out. The chancellors, the professors, everything's laid out in there. Super clear. Iconography on the board is pretty good once you figure out kind of what it means. So you might be referencing the rule book a little bit, but as you're playing in the game after the first couple rounds, you're good to go. All right, so let's talk about gameplay. So I'm going to be honest here. I played this 3 times. The first time I played it was a 2-handed learning game. So I was playing 2 players with that dummy 3rd player like I showed in the overview. And I was playing I was playing it the way that I thought I was playing it. And I was like, man, this is really like hard to do anything. And I was like, well, maybe I'm just learning it wrong. So I just moved on. Next time I played it with Katie. We played the 2-player game. So we had the dummy 3rd player and all that stuff. Doesn't matter. It's essentially a 3-player game. And then we couldn't do anything. We couldn't ever get books. Everything was super tight. We never got to recruit the top 2 tiers of professors because we couldn't ever get the number of books that we needed because we were spending so many workers to go to that space to get books. So we played it again at 4 players. And my buddy said, why is this space yellow? It's like, that's a good question because it functions just like all the gray spaces. Then I dove into the rule book. So this whole issue is on me, not the rule book, on me. So I dove into the rule book and it says when you're going to the yellow space to buy books from other players, costs you 1 worker. Doesn't matter if there's other people there. You can go there multiple times in a round. 1 worker every time. That blows the whole game wide open. So the first couple plays, I was not a fan of this game. I probably wouldn't have given this, it probably would have been rated a 5 or a 6 because it just wasn't my jam. It was not flowing. I couldn't do anything. It felt like it was just an exercise in futility. I like tight games, but this was a little too tight. Last time we played it, however, whoa. When you can actually acquire books and you have enough books to do some stuff, this game sings. So having to use 1 worker at that spot instead of 2 or 3 really makes a difference. So, man, that was a bad misread in the rule book on my part, and it really changed the way that I look at this game. From to whoa, really good. So with all that being said, with the production, the rule book, the gameplay, just the whole overall package, even my idiocy on those first couple plays, but when you read the rule book, it does clarify some of the rules, I guess. I'm going to have to give this a BGM accepted seal. It is amazing. Now, I don't know if it's as good as Coimbra. I prefer Coimbra. I just feel like it's slicker. I like dice drafting maybe a little better. I like the multi-use dice. It just, I don't know, that game just sings for me. But it's still good. So I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4 out of 5 wrenches. On our arbitrary wrench scale, that means absolutely nothing. But we like to give it the games that we enjoy because we're a podcast and video channel about games. So why not have some good news on the channel for once? So yeah, I'm much more excited about this game now than I was. I was really, really disappointed because I was super pumped. And then after those first couple plays, I was just deflated. But don't have to worry about that because it plays amazing. So that was Alma Mater from Eggertspiel. I'm Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics. And as always, keep gaming.